Okay, so let's get to the there. No, people start the tweeting that me tell my people know the rush. I beg. Yeah, I beg. Oh no, but I mean they know say this is between me and my guys. I beg. Me person be adding but then all they start fight. Somebody say, you master, you know Bitamaga, you they come from Sawam. Because for me, you be I start to talk about this here. Okay, so Kwesi Otin is speaking. He says President Akufo-Addo should complete construction of National Cathedral. Gospel musician Kwesi Otin says he's looking forward to seeing President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo complete the construction of the National Cathedral. He said this was a promise the president made, therefore he wishes that it be fulfilled. Kwesi Otin, speaking in an interview on Onua TV Sabin Wahal show, said that my wish now is for him to be successful for the 4-year term to be re-elected just for the initiative of the National Cathedral. He added, people are about the free SHS, but I'm really looking forward to the completion of the National Cathedral. President Akufo-Addo on March 6, 2017 announced plans by his government to build an interdenominational Christian cathedral as part of Ghana's 60th anniversary celebrations. Per the architectural designs by British Ghanaian David Ajayi, the cathedral will boast of chapels and baptistry, have a music school, an art gallery, and a Bible museum. More state buildings from which some judges were evicted have been demolished to pave the way for construction work on the controversial National Cathedral to begin at the Plush Ridge area in Accra. Let's speak with Kwesi Otin. Kwesi, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
How are you?
I'm great.
Right. So, you claim President Akufo-Addo should build the National Cathedral he told Ghanaians some few years ago. Is that right?
I think the headline is a little inaccurate.
What did you say?
The headline makes it look like I'm obligating him to build it. I'm not obligating him to build it. I'm not even asking him to build it because he promised it. He started it. I think we have a situation in Ghana where when administrations are changed, certain projects is not. You don't know the priorities of an incoming administration. So from my place, until 2016, I endorsed and actually been campaigning with him. And I'm saying, personally, I am excited about the cathedral situation. Everybody is excited about something. My excitement is about the cathedral. And I'm asking that he's re-elected so that he can finish it, because you don't know the priority of the new administration, basically. But the way that particular article you read, rather, is like I'm obligating you because he promised it. It's a different vibe.
I understand. And let me apologize for that. Again, it was something I read on the internet. And so I needed you to authenticate it.
The people that wrote it, it's not your fault.
Right.
I understand clearly.
Thank you. So, whilst a lot of Ghanaians disagree with the National Cathedral in that, well, there were many important things to be done instead of building a cathedral. You are of the view that he must construct it or finish it, as he mentioned earlier. As a creative person or as a musician, whilst many of your colleagues or your musician friends were saying that it wasn't necessary, whilst other creative stuff needed to be done, why are you insisting that the cathedral needs to be built?
I'm insisting because, people don't know that we all don't have to agree for us to be right. We all don't have to agree. People must not agree with my assertion for me to be right. People, those who find what I'm saying unnecessary are also not wrong for thinking that we all have opinions, which in a developing country, I respect every other person's opinion. My opinion, and which is not subject to anybody's respect, they can take it or leave it, is that I'm looking forward to see the completion of that. Whether it's important or not important, it's okay. It's a project that started. I mean, they are on it, and I don't think they will finish before the election. It's up, and my opinion, which is just an opinion, they can take it or leave it, is that I want to see that project see the light of day. Several projects have started by several administrations, and new administrations don't continue. So I'm just saying that for us to see the completion of that particular me quickly. So I want to, and this man, let's just make sure that his next 4-year term is just secured for him, and so that he can complete. Because I believe that as much as it will not be important to certain people, it is also important to certain people. It's a beautiful sign of a nation that has reverence and respect for God, really, basically.
Kwesi, let me ask you, this cathedral,
Yes.
what at all do you think will Ghanaians benefit from?
It's not there, that's why. But the moment it becomes there, we will realize that it's not all the time that we have to use the Independence Square for important things. When that project is done, we will have a place where certain things are held at.
Well, there are objectives, and I want you to state those objectives. I mean, yes, once you support it, then I'm sure you have an idea of what we will benefit from. Well, if it's a cathedral, well, some people may go there to pray, or there may be other reasons people may want to visit the National Cathedral.
Ancient times, God has always been concerned about nations building a house for him. I mean, he complained some time ago that people were living in big houses, and he was living in tents, And as much as he did not need a temple, he was not bothered. But there was a time when David wanted to build a temple for him. He said that, David, you will not do it. I'll let your son do it. And when that temple was built, God honored it. When nations build temples for God, God honors it. It is not by chance that like nations like America and England and some of these nations have a certain place in the world that no one can change it. If you check the history lines, these nations have built, there have been some contribution into that spiritual awareness that God is the supreme, almighty being that these nations revere and respect. Nobody has to agree with it or not. Whoever started it being the president, he knows the reason why he feels that is important and must be a project. Me, as I'm sitting here, being a spiritual person, I recognize that is a very powerful thing that I want to see the completion of, and that he has my support and endorsement for that particular initiative.
Before I let you go, which would you prefer, an ultramodern studio or a National Cathedral?
A National Cathedral.
Really?
Yes. Studios, do you understand? Studios, we have great talents that have built studios that are churning out amazing talent. So I don't know what we're going to do with so that people can book the place and record songs. I see the blessing that God can give to a nation is much more than what is obvious and what is the obvious benefit. This such an objective that does not look important to men can be important to God, and we don't know what blessings can be released. Of course, I mean, we live in a time where not many people have respect for God. People have been promoting the fact that there's no God and all this type of things. But it's all right. Let's see the destiny of our nation after that edifice is built. I believe that it will trigger out certain blessings that we've not seen. Ghana is at the brink of amazing prosperity, and it's not going to take just brains alone. It's going to take a spiritual blessing and capacity that will be released. And I believe that these things are beautiful signs that we're getting there.
All right, Kwesi, thank you very much for your time. But hey, I hear you have a new song out.
Yes. Big one featuring emoji. All about you. It's all over YouTube and all digital.
You shot a video for it already?
Video is already on YouTube.
Oh, wow. Okay. I want to have you in the studio next week. Can you make time?
I will come.
Okay, right. So I'll invite you over next week so we can have a lengthy chat.
Thank you, boss.
All right, Kwesi. Well, thank you. Right. So that was Kwesi Oting speaking with us. Let me begin with you, Ernest.
Yeah, Andy. First of all, let me say that opinions are like noses. We've all got one. So it depends on where you sit. Where I'm equally worried, like he is the issue of continuity. When there is a change in government, we tend to abandon certain projects, even though it was good for the nation, but we end up pursuing other things because everybody wants to be tagged as the person who did this or that. We all talk about motorway, we talk about Akusumo Dam, we talk about all these things, and we mention Nkoma. So every government comes and they want to have their own projects that they initiated, finish it so that their names will be tagged with it. And that is the most unfortunate part, because governance is continuity. Somebody needs to continue from where the other stopped so that the nation can see progress.
They're looking for stuff they can do and brag with it.
And yes, unfortunately, and sometimes too, if there's been moments where you speak to some of these people in government and you try to find out, okay, so why didn't you complete this? Because it was good, it will help the people, and they'll tell you. If we are to tell you the cost that they've quoted, and if you do cost analysis, you realize that about twice the original figure has been quoted. Somebody, did some corner fast in there just to have some booty. So because of that, they need to probe it. They need to make sure that before they touch it, they are convinced that the figure that is quoted, goes with the project and all these kind of things. So it's a problem that we need to solve as a people. And I can see that my brother is talking as somebody who is a sympathizer. And apart from that too, because he's a Christian, he believes that project should come off. But if it will come off, then the same person who started should continue it. I don't see anything wrong with it. But just that whether we should have a cathedral or not, well, I don't want to go there.
Right. Why are there 2 minutes? Thank you. Charlie, use the same 2 minutes to kill it for me.
Okay.
Because we have another issue.
Okay. I mean, Andy, this was his opinion. I think the clarity bit was the fact that the headlines sounded authoritative. It was like he was actually instructing the president to do, which he has come out to clear that that's not really the narrative. And I think the only bit that some were shocked or surprised to hear was the fact that when you asked him between the studio and the cathedral, which he chose the cathedral. I wasn't surprised because he probably may be coming from a religious background, to it. And that has always been the challenge with how Ghanaians see gospel musicians. That's why Ghanaians become a little unforgiving when they see either pastors or gospel musicians do something negative, because they feel they are unable to separate their ministry from their career as a musician. So it's always like a blend. And so there are some people who may enjoy your music, but they don't really need salvation. They just want to enjoy your singing and the songs and everything. But unfortunately, most of our gospel people often mix or blend the whole ministry aspect, or they're trying to be a gospel ambassadors or Jesus ambassadors to the whole point of being musicians. And so I think in times like this, it's very good that he separates those dual personalities so that we get to know that, okay, he's talking in his capacity as a Christian, not in his capacity as this. Because as we're here, if you say Andy says something right now, it's either he disassociates Hitz FM from there and say in his capacity as Andy Dusty. Otherwise, if Andy says VGMA as Andy, everybody say he's a board member. So it's VGMA board. So this is where I feel Kwesi should have come more clearer so that people know. But me, I'm okay with it. I'm not surprised as a Christian. He's saying that he wants the cathedral to come ahead of the studio. Na cathedral never. Na no sound quality ninya. We'll still come here and talk about it. So Andy, I rest my case.
Thank you. IB.
Andy, good morning. And good morning to all the listeners. I was the one who was shocked. Premier, you should have mentioned my name. Honestly, it came to me as a shock because we see, yes, he is a gospel musician, but he's spreading the word of God through music. And in that regard, I was thinking as a musician, which everybody knows him as a first thing, he was going to choose the studio over the cathedral. Yes, he made example of there are a lot of studios anybody can walk into. There are a lot of churches too that if you want to pray, you can walk into to pray. But like you said, everybody has an opinion. Like knows that is his opinion. I was
Why
just
do they always
held
mention nose when they talk about opinions?
That's of acrobat.
So I was held aback. I was thinking he was going to get the studio first, and see, because sound quality, someone might listen to your song just because of the sound quality. Someone might fall in love with your song just because of the clarity of the sound, that he can hear almost everything. And this ultra modern studio is what we are. That is what everybody is pushing for. So we get that to be able to export our sound to the other parts of the world, so that they also get to know that we have quality sound. Yes. There are a lot of cathedrals in other parts of the world that are not even pushed on other countries. But music is being pushed. And if we are pushing the Ghana agenda to the world, which music is playing a huge role, I think we should all, get behind that front to push it. Yeah, so I was surprised. But I rest my case anyways.
Kwesi.
Yes, boss.
2 minutes, please.
It's about cathedral versus studio, right? He's entitled. He's entitled to his opinion. And individually, we have different needs. And we have different choices that suit our interests at particular times. Kwesi has spoken. He's spoken as a veteran and as a believer, who as well also believes in the capacity of the NPP government and the ability to deliver on set targets. And to him, he believes that whilst the thing is started, it should be completed as an industry person. And you see, for me, it's also important that Kwesi also drums that agenda heavily. You know why? The cathedral project became one of a talk. Most talk about projects in Ghana. That received the biggest bash, both in several quarters, and so it will be unfortunate that after all the hustle, after all the frustrations, the back and forth, the backlash and everything, finally the project is not able to commence or is not able to even start or end at all. So as a Christian, he's fulfilling his mandate in making sure at least the cathedral becomes a monument serving the entire Christian community. That will make it important for people to pride themselves in the agenda and the kind of support they give to it. And so for me, calling the president to make sure that is completed is not in a bad taste. It's in the right direction. Because Kwesi himself believe, as a pastor too, he's a pastor, And so yeah. And so he being a musician and a pastor, he's a pastor because he has a church. He has a church in Tema. So he being a pastor and a musician, if he's calling for government to complete a cathedral, I'm sure that for this one we can forgive him for.
Per the interview, we have to push him. Per the interview, he was not even calling on government to do his. He was talking to Ghanaians to retain the president so that he can.
That one there is, you don't even need to call for something which is there. The form more is a possibility. I mean, we know that no new government is coming. It's the same Akufo-Addo government that is continuing.
The politicians are here.
So I mean, it's a fact. We don't. Sometimes we try to make it here, and some people are reading manifestos here and there. I like whatever Sadiq and Rexoma are doing, but it will end at the opposition, and that's where they have to be. And I love where they are.
You love where they are.
I'm interested where they are.
All right, Kwesi, you've taken 4 minutes.
Sorry.
Me bro. And that's music from PZ. Fire. Bless_Kaba said, Brandy, they should leave us with this cathedral thing. Is it not scientists finding the vaccine for corona? We need science and technology facilities rather. Yeah. Your neighbor A-Tune says, Andy, since Kwesi Otin doesn't need studio, then we have a long way to go as a people. And the town and Nadu, we the traditional people are also waiting for a national shrine to serve our ancestors and Oduma Nkuma. Joko says, Andy, how can he choose cathedral over ultramodern studio? Ultramodern, no, there are ultramodern churches out there, and so still young so as youth. Minkotia and the Ghana has a long way to go. Tune Talk Media says, question Ernest, you say you are unhappy about Sonny Badu's failure to congratulate winning gospel artists at VGMA. Is that true?
Yes, I was.
You were unhappy?
I was unhappy.
So, music producer and artist manager Kwesi Ernest has expressed his displeasure at the fact that gospel star Sonny Badu failed to congratulate gospel award winners at VGMA 2020. Kwesi, but if he failed to congratulate them, we're unhappy how you're anything.
Yeah.
Why is that a problem?
Andy, within my time, greetings to my CEO for Kwawu Republic, Frank, who is listening to us this morning. Greetings to the entire team working at the Kwawu Republic, and also to my CEO, Honorable Bray Champon, wherever you are this morning. Papa, we salute you.
You have to take me to him. I've never met him.
You will surely meet him one day.
I hear he's a nice man.
He's a fine gentleman.
Yeah.
I mean,
so they say.
He's a fine gentleman.
I've been to his office on several occasions.
I'm sure he will give you one room at Rock City for you to have
yeah, that's what they've been saying. And I'm ready to play at his club. Immediately.
Wait, you give him one room.
Oh, he said.
What for?
For studio.
Andy, wait, I'm asking Kwesi.
I can build a studio
at the Rock City now.
Where would I sleep?
It will be fair enough for him to be given one room. At least as a DJ, we are hosting him.
Yes.
Allow the man to speak.
Allow the man to speak. The man is trying to speak.
The man is trying to act.
My CEO Frank has already approved it, so let's make progress. Andy,
I'll go with you.
Shatawale was telling me about him.
Yeah.
And Shatta was also telling me that he's a nice person. And we have to go and visit him.
I'll go with you.
Don't go with me, my friend. Do you need a room?
Andy, I heard Shatta was given 2 million, right?
That one I don't know.
So that means he can pay our money for the Bless on the Hills.
But will you perform?
You will perform.
And will you take the money?
You will still take the money.
Shut up.
Right,
I know you'll be laughing by this time in the house.
Yeah.
This man. Okay, so Andy, this is my point. I want to clear this one once and for all. Let's settle this one. You see, Sonny Badu, as a gospel minister, as a pastor, has got a responsibility towards gospel music in Ghana and Africa and the world at large. You know why? Because he represents a tradition. To us as gospel musicians, Sonny Badu is like our legend. Like how people, high life musicians, when they see Afro Moses, they celebrate him with the flag of Ghana, going throughout the world, celebrating and pushing for the agenda of making sure Ghana music goes to Grammy. You see how Afro Moses, Atongo, and all these people, they are supporting the younger generation, giving them platform in Australia, pushing them here and everything. I mean, look at Afro Moses. I mean, he's a clear example in the legendary status of making sure that the younger generation are receiving opportunities and paving the way for these young ones to receive that kind of accolade across all these countries. So to us, Sonny Badu represents our signature outside the world of gospel music. that whenever I wake up and we say that, oh, give us one hero of gospel musician who has been able to at least, made it to the top to everywhere. I can boldly hit my chest and say, Sonny Badu is one such individual who gospel musician can pride ourselves. 2, when the Sonny Badu came to Ghana to practice his trade as a gospel artist, we didn't even recognize him as a British citizen. We gave him our full support as Ghanaian artists and Ghanaian industry players, gospel industry players. We supported him all his concert through the rain, the concert that he did at Accra Sports Stadium. We were with him thick and thin, day and night, supporting everything that my brother is doing, using our Facebook pages and Instagram and everything we have as people to push him to succeed. Why were we doing that? We were doing that because he's one of us, and we had a responsibility to making sure that he succeed, so that his program doesn't become a laughing stock for the general public to say that gospel for Monsham.
All right, so
and therefore, if a gospel artist has won an award on the night of VGMA, and you have seen Afro Moses congratulating this, I've seen somebody tweeting, I've seen this person tweeting. To us as the gospel community, it would have been exciting that we woke up in the morning and our legend has also tweeted, bam, one at the top. Congratulations to all my gospel fellows who won at the VGMA. It would have been very much exciting. And therefore, we don't have any problem. The gospel community don't have any problem with he congratulating Kwame Eugene or anybody, because it is his choice. But I'm saying, as a father and a legend of our industry, who represent our signature to the top, he, as Sonny Badu, has a responsibility to fulfill to us and the next generation of gospel musicians that is to come.
Kwesi, let me ask you.
That's one day.
Kwesi,
he failed in that capacity.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you,
right.
Sound and clear.
Okay. Did Sonny Badu congratulate anyone else who won an award at the VGMA?
He did for Kwame Eugene.
So that is your wahala. You know, say
exactly. I'm saying that is the problem, because
do you have a problem with Kwame Eugene?
I do. I've already indicated on the show right now, if you play the tape, that the gospel community doesn't have any problem with Kwame Eugene. Not at all.
Okay.
So we don't have any one problem. Why must me as an artist manager having problem? But Richie is my friend. I go to Links Entertainment. We share ideas and everything together. So I'll be happy. I'm happy that his artist has been able to win an award to that level of Artist of the Year. But I'm saying, Penny Wofie, if you're an elderly person in the house, you make sure that you pave a way for the children and the younger generation. That's why some of us are here talking. Do you think that we don't have bed? We don't have offices to work? We are here making sure that we contribute our quota to the industry growth now and the future. You see the young boy that was Keso was here. All of us were here giving him advice that will shape him for the future. So it is important that when you are an elderly person in the house, you give your quota, you contribute to the growth of that particular industry of gospel. And he, as Sonny Badu, has a responsibility to that effect. So it is something that cannot be. It is something that he doesn't even need to be queried about. It's a situation he doesn't have a choice. Whether he likes it or not, he is a legend to us as gospel community, as people. We see him as such, and he is one of us. There's no way he can take himself out of us, because we have given him the opportunity with our platforms to making sure that he becomes number one in the world.
Right. And
as such, at his growth and his level, we also expect him to the kind of support that where he is, to open the way, to open a chapter for the younger generation that are coming gospel people, to also receive the same charter.
So, Kwesi, let me ask, Kwesi, please.
Why did we get wrong with it?
Kwesi,
Yes, boss.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Allow your...
You are asking me one question.
Yes,
Continue.
Yes. Oh, hold on.
Ask the question.
That's what I'm saying. Please, allow me.
I'm allowing you.
Please
ask your question.
Move away from the mic. You move.
No, I'm ready
back.
to
Go back and let me speak.
But what does my microphone down to your question?
He says relax.
You say, I'm relaxed and I'm looking at your face.
Don't look at. Didn't you hear what Mr.
Because
Lodge
I
said?
want you to know how honest I am. That's why I'm looking into your eyeballs.
Yes.
So, because I want to give you an honest answer.
Okay, good. Allow your fellow parliamentarians. Your mouth is shaking.
Not after your question.
Andy, if you have a question, ask me.
Are you done?
You there was a question that
That is
you were coming.
the question is, are you done?
Yeah, Andy.
Do you agree with him?
You see, legally, the word is legally. Sonny Badu has done nothing wrong.
Okay.
It's not a crime. But morally
Good.
and psychologically, it would have been fair for him to do that, knowing that you belong to a certain community. So the people in the community is your family. It's just like seeing your brother win an award or get something that you think is very prestigious. It is fair for you to say, bro, Charlie, you've done well. So legally, he's done nothing wrong. It is up to him to choose who he can congratulate. But sometimes, do you see, because Ernest was saying something, sometimes God puts you at a place that you yourself may not know that is how people see you. And these are some, I remember there was a day I was moving with my driver, we went to some place and everybody was like, yay, everybody was around me and I was like, oh, Charlie, me, I'm just a radio presenter. I'm just a TV presenter. I'm doing my work. That is what God gave me. And my driver was like, Chef, boss, Jack, we are superstar, Jack. You see? So from where they sit, they see you differently because of where you are. But you see yourself differently because you see what you are doing as your obligation, something that you should do. So Sonny Badu might, I don't know what he thinks, but as you are saying, he is an icon in terms of the gospel community. Because when you are mentioning Ghanaian gospel musicians who have penetrated to the top in terms of the world, you cannot mention and leave out Sonny Badu. So whether he likes it or not, he, by no fault of his, has become a figure that whether he's ready or not, there are certain responsibilities that he is expected to assume. That is where Kwesi Ernest is coming from. So I understand his point of view from that point. But then
he's our brother. He's our brother. No, and no. I mean, let's set the record straight. Nobody is accusing him of theft or any criminal activity. He's our brother. Nobody.
What's our friend?
We are speaking. I'm sure. Somebody is a moralist himself. If it is what anybody that did, I'm sure that he will have gone the same way as I'm going. We are nobody's insulting or nobody. Let nobody take it that we are bashing or nobody. We are speaking the truth that he is a legend when it comes to
yeah, that one is well noted. So can I continue?
As a legend, you have a responsibility towards your people. And you don't need to deny them of such opportunity when it arrives.
Sonny Badu is a legend.
He's a legend for us. If not for you, but for us, he's our person. He's a PhD holder. He's a gospel PhD holder. You understand what I'm saying?
Premier, please come in.
No. And be very careful with your comments.
Is it a threat?
Why can't you hear about it?
You see, he's acting like Shatawale in the studio now. He's trying to be manipulative of everything. You see, well, I remember that night when I saw that tweet. In other jurisdictions, they would say, oh, hypocrisy, oh, this or that. But you see, there's also another school of thought. Kwame Eugene is a great artist. I've never seen any Christian or any, I think Christian, who has attested to the fact that when he was in bed with his wife, he was playing Erade Kasa Nama Kumanto Miyemu. Everybody, in one way or the other, whether you're a Christian, be it a gospel musician or whatsoever, there's this bit of secular thing in you that you would enjoy. Yes, it's not all the secular songs, in quote, secular songs, that all talks about profanity or that talks about whatever. So there are some gospel people or some Christians who also appreciate those who sing about love, those who sing about life, those who sing about other things. However, but I'm just surprised Kwesi Ernest is talking this way. Is it not the same Sonny Badu now? They kwabna nyum enyum esa wona yi na say. So I'm just surprised. Oh, yeah, kwabna fetch. That's the song on the other side.
Koyo beda.
Na hana obe appreciate.
No obi nim da no yere ya with them.
Misha say. Ne wedding asin no.
Andy obi nim yere sanso a enso so yen yeda.
Suppose Christian wedding asin po no ne obi sa kwabna. Na enye tweet keka Kwame Eugene wini no ntimi tweet. I don't know if you are getting the whole thing.
I'm not getting.
That clearly shows.
What if? Okay, but Kwesi, whilst you and the Christian fraternity don't have problems with Kwame Eugene, it's the same reason he doesn't have a problem with Kwame Eugene. What if he and Kwame Eugene, they both have a very fine relationship? How about that?
I'm still a Monty Asam.
Yeah, but they make sure it's not my fault.
Exactly the point I may try to prove. Say, and yanshe on the need data and what in app. Your friend on Twitter, I want the phone. So
that is wrong analogy.
Wait, okay.
Obey your concert one or data mobility and function program. Okay. Debut, Okwaji MTN. It's our the Wi-Fi and a Wi-Fi. ABC secretary and Fanya sharing.
Your Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi, waka.
It's okay. See, the say any panel. Adia. And you see those things, I think it was spontaneous. Unse, the way he appreciates that particular and the way I question I would have supported you honestly. But do you know why I don't want to support you? Let's not create the impression as if gospel on a honum Joe asumdie or ho be adodone. When Mwankasa Kranda other issues brewing in that sector. Intinom peno ho asem
such as
there are issues.
Oh, Master, you too.
There are issues brewing there. Inti say a Christopher gospel musicians important to Mwasia. Na enuntu ompen ho asem wo say he me kra me appreciate secular ni awaya de. And Kwame Eugene won the award. He carried the night. So at the end of the day, me hu on the data app no no na dia no aka na asem. Enye big deal. Say eya ade a ebia Sonny Badu onim Kwame Eugene. O aye no ho kronkron merade. E na onya ade bia e kire say oye create to the core. Ramaka says, Obi or de Kwabna Asade. It clearly shows you that he has a secular side of him that you should appreciate. Inti me, I don't see anything wrong with him. And the why na de. Omupa omontiase omumpa. This will not change him. It will not do anything to him. On the day who not need data. I mean the open way. Me this one I don't really see the big deal about it.
Right. Ivy, can you finish it for us?
Kwesi calling Sonny Badu a legend is right, but have the likes of
Professor Kofi Abraham
have they congratulated all the gospel artist winners? Can't they also see that probably Sonny Badu is a musician and he is just showing love for musicians? Should it always be the gospel fraternity? Can't he also show love to another musician? And moreover, he's congratulating Kwame Eugene because Kwame Eugene won the most prestigious award. And he sees him as a kid brother. So can't they take it like that? Should it always be the spirituality part of it? Should it always go to a gospel musician? Maybe he is also encouraging other people who want to do music. Why can't you see it that way? Have the big pastors in this country congratulated all the gospel musicians who won? Please don't let it look like it's a witch hunt to what Sonny Badu has done. He's just congratulating another musician who has won something good and probably has touched him. It doesn't mean that he is not excited about the gospel wins. For all you know, if you get close to him, he will let you know that he's excited about it, but he just wants to congratulate musicians. That's all. And also inspire some young ones.
Adults music. That's all.
Everyone you say. But Andy, as I room no to my boy.
Oh yeah, the room there. Gerard Israel says, you people should leave Dr. Sonny Badu alone. Congratulations, not be by force. Even most of the Ghanaian-based gospel artists didn't congratulate their agenda mates who won on the night, but you people are not talking about that. Oji Wangana says, Andy, your man is firing rough. He's speaking. I think your sound keep cutting. Andy, I think. The man is trying to speak. I just like, Andy, you're offline. Oh, really? Are we?
Offline?
Hey. Bema na send a message. Hi, baby.
Hey.
Why?
Andy, show me video.
Hi, baby. They are not you. And I am mistaken when they are sending me. Kwame Anwar says, Brandy, please let Dr. Kwesianes know that the fact that you are a member of the Table of Men had a TOM, Tom.
Yeah. We are the most prestigious organization in Ghana.
Ayo. Table of Men does not mean you should jump on the defense of his fellow member. He, Obi Nate, knows that what he said, he goofed. Tom Comrades had condemned it. And also, Obi Nate here.
I said Obi Nate was the first person to condemn.
Obi was the first person to
condemn.
Condemn. And I think Sonny too gave a shade in a reply. Shade visa.
Yeah.
I just like says,
he has to, he can.
and if it's about Sonny, but we've not discussed Obi Nate here. I mean, that's my issue. Yeah, if it's about Sonny helping others, I can agree. But if it's related to Kwame's congratulations, then Wafakwesi got no case. It's not compulsory for him to big up anyone. It's time people's choices are respected. Leave Sonny be why. The man got no case today. Nana GH says, Andy Dusty, the goat of all entertainment presented. Mr. Ernest is a whole different mood. Pandit Muwale. Bless underscore Kaba says, Randy, the way Kwesi Ernest charged here, Aden, he eats talking juju from Benny and Yon Debate says, I agree with Kwesi Ernest on this one. Even though Sonny has the right to congratulate whoever he wants, Andy. So Kwesi Ernest is a Kwahu man, and he hasn't commented on the Chinese man who was understood as a chief in this area.
And the guy just said, this week, we young cocoa. I will into share.
Chinese neighbor.
Yeah, Chinese.
Yeah,
there's a lot of programs coming up for young cocoa event, Call Republic and the team. So it's
what I'm asking is,
starting from
so the Chinese man
okay. Let's say with the development, but now about Ghana phone.
So what has he done? Which development has he done?
Or the pape bao.
Costero Simon says, and Sonny Badu doesn't owe anyone a congrats message. He chooses who he wishes to congratulate. Kwesi Ernest is trying to sound controversial these days. At this point, he's trying to make it ambiguous. Thank you all very much for Kwesi, the message is coming at you now there. Kwame Anwar says, share hypocrisy on Dr. Kwesi part.
They should call me direct.
Kwame Eugene is he a Buddhist? Is he not a Christian? If it's Sonny Badu's it is his prerogative to either congratulate gospel guys or not. Is he by force Christian or killing ourselves? Christopher Nyacho.
Sorry, Kwame Eugene has a beautiful one with Obapa Christie. What would you say about that? He just released it. His latest.
No, he just released it. He released the song. We've been playing the song.
I know. I've said that the discussion is not about Kwame Eugene. Let's even try to move away from that. We are talking about practical moral issue, a moral responsibility. And this is a problem.
How is that?
What is the problem?
I think I agree.
There's a moral responsibility. Imagine you, IB. You have won an award at RTP Awards. You have won. And then multimedia team people, all of you, about 5 of you won RTP Awards. You came here and then your host, Doreen, have you? Is rather congratulating people from EIB. Would you be happy?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I somehow agree with him.
Would you be? Tell me, answer this question before we get off. Would you be happy? Maybe it's a question. Would you be happy?
It is her prerogative.
That is why your spectacle is.
Thank you all very much for listening. DJ Black is ready.
This is Hitz.